Future G.I. Joe Classified Series ground vehicle Haslab options have been leaked, and Stratos is coming to the Masterverse Vintage Collection right now on Toy Habits Live.
And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
I'm the Toy Sorceress, and you're watching a special Thursday edition of Toy Habits Live. Because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, we decided to move up our stream one day and then allow everybody to celebrate tomorrow with their loved ones.
Yes.
How you doing, Michael?
I'm good. Yeah, it feels like a Friday because we're doing this tonight, but yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. So excited about it.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I am a little under the weather. You can hear my voice is kind of hoarse, and it sounds better than it did an hour ago because I just had some soup before the live stream. So at least I'm not as screechy as I was before. So my apologies in advance to everyone. But yeah, it's been a very rainy day here in LA, and but we needed the rain, so it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's been raining cats and dogs up here too. It's a splashy one. Oh my god, Panthor.
We're gonna get into that in a little bit too.
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and check in with the chat because we got a lot of really fun news to cover. Some stuff that just broke recently within the last hour or so, like this little guy, and some cool. We have got Moti news, we got Joe news, we got the Ghostbusters. We have a whole bunch of fun stuff to talk about.
There's a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see who's in the chat, and then we'll get jumping. So we got Joey Curiel here. We have crew member Carnage 717 joining us. We have crew member Joe Coleman. It's Toy Habits time, people. We have Smutty 45 here. Collector Phil is joining us. Crew member Mint with Card is also here. Toy Habits on a Thursday. It's Toy Habits Thursday, Mint with Card. Totally kidding. But yeah, we're here because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and we wanted everyone to be able to celebrate that day in peace. So we got Paul Galliano here too. We got crew member Neil Hunter Hyde. How is it going, Neil? We're playing a joke on everyone. It's technically Friday, but it really isn't. We got crew member Ryan Cole here as well. Kevin Florence is joining us. We have King Panthor here as well. We got Alex Valdez joining us. And Ryan Cole. Oh my God, Ryan, you are amazing already. Ryan and Joe Coleman, the both of you guys gifting 10 Toy Habits memberships and Joe Coleman gifting 5 Toy Habits memberships. So 15 of you who aren't members in the chat are going to receive 1 month free of Toy Habits memberships. And the chat hasn't filled up too much yet, so maybe everybody in the chat will get one.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the crew member Roman Schilling also joining us. Paul Giuliano. I think I already said hi to you, but hello again. We got Benjamin Rue also here. We have Christopher Parra joining us, and we have Rodimus Prime 1982. That is awesome. Good to see everybody. Let's check in. Oh, and Hal Jordan. What's up, Toy Holes? What's going on, Hal? Good to see you. What's up, you crazy kids? We're doing well, Hal. Let's go ahead and check in on the ever-growing crew, and then we'll dive into the news.
Sounds good. Yes, hello to all of our crew, and hello to everybody who is joining us tonight, and and our crew as well. And our crew grew by 15. Thank you, Joe and Ryan. That's very awesome of you. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, that's a great question, Alex. So if you go to our homepage on desktop, not on mobile, on the desktop, you can click the join button, and there's a few levels of membership, like basics. There's like basic support, and then which is the fanatic level. There's an addict level, which is our
the top tier.
Yes, that's the top tier with Discord, and the middle one is our
Junkies
level, which gets an extra special live stream.
Yeah. So do it on your computer, not your cell phone, and just go to Yahoo, YouTube, go to our Toy Habits page. It says join, and then you can pick your different membership level, and it'll explain to you what you get with each tier and how much the monthly fee is on that. And it goes to helping support the channel. We don't do this for free. There is a cost for us to run this. We have equipment, we have other things to pay for, and so your support allows us to keep doing this for you every week. So we really appreciate it because it helps us to keep the channel growing.
Totally. So thank you so much for the support. Yeah, and if you want to join, or if you want to wait for Joe and Ryan.
That's only a month. You only get a month with the gifted Toy Habits memberships. This way, if you do become an addict level, which is our top tier, it's a lot of fun. You get access to Discord, which is this really cool instant messaging chat software, and then all our addict members are in that. We call it the Toy Habits Hot Tub, and everyone has fun. And there's a mobile app for it as well. So if you want to chit chat with your other Toy Habits crew members during the day, or send pictures of the cool toys you're finding, or give each other tips and joke around, the gang has so much fun on Discord. So it's worth it for that extra tier. And then also sometimes we send our team on Discord, early looks at sneak peeks at articles that we're going to put out, so they get early news. So it's a lot of fun. And then we have private live streams and hot tub events with them as well. So totally worth it. It's a lot of fun. And again, we really appreciate everyone's support.
It is fun. I do want to give a special shout out to Paul Galliano. We met him at SDCC last year. He's very fun to hang out with and just a super cool guy, and can't wait to see him if he's going to SDCC next year or this year.
Yeah, too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. All right, let's dive into the news, and we're going to start off with some news that we dropped this week. So we were trolling around the Walmart database like we usually do, and we found yet another vintage collection listing that's not public yet. And so it was for a Masterverse Vintage Stratos. And so Stratos is coming to the Masterverse Vintage Collection like Faker. So hopefully we'll see both of them go up for this year's Walmart Collector Con, which would be cool because last year Skeletor and Zodak both went up for pre-order during Walmart Collector Con. So it'd be cool to see these two go up for sale.
Don't miss Walmart Cancel Con.
Yeah, right.
They canceled everyone's pre-orders everyone's orders that tried to order the in-stock versions.
I know, it's so cool.
Of Zodak and Skeletor. We're like got all excited that they got them early, and then they're like, "Psych, we don't have those."
So what's interesting is these vintage collection figures, they do pay homage to the vintage artwork done by Errol McCarthy. And what is cool about this is, Nate, who does the box design for these, is going to do his own version of this, but this is the older, vintage version that came on the vintage carded version of Stratos, and we see the yellow version of Evil Lynn, the yellow skin version, and a Beastman. So we did get some early news too that there is a yellow skinned Evil Lynn in the works for the Masterverse Vintage Collection, and we are likely to get a Beastman because you can't have Skeletor without Beastman. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that goes without saying. What I'm excited about is, are we going to get a new version of He-Man? We'll see.
Yes.
A better head sculpt, because if we do, that means we'll get a good head sculpt for Faker too. So
68th version.
Yes.
He-Man's
Can they get it right?
Yeah.
For once. That would be nice.
Yeah, it would be. My theory is on the Masterverse Ozempic Beastman from the New Eternia is like they made a new version, and I think they're probably going to reuse his buck for the vintage collection when they make one.
Yeah, I think they will. It's usually kind of like late March, if I remember correctly. We don't have an exact date. They haven't revealed
Oh,
anything yet or
it's
announced anything?
they've been early March. So there's a
Oh, early March. I'm sorry.
yeah,
You're right.
there's a Mattel reveals event on the 6th, and I think that's when I
Oh,
think everything is going to happen. I think it's going to be on March 6th.
okay. Well, I take back everything I just said. Michael knows more than me.
March Madness. Yes. Yeah, and I don't know if their live stream is going to coincide with that, the day that they drop everything, but I remember they did a special live stream where they showed off Geldor, that huge chunky Masterverse Horde Trooper, and Demo Man
Yeah.
last year. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and there's Toy Fair coming up too. So yeah, there's actually going to be some really cool stuff being shown at Toy Fair from the loyal subjects. And so yeah, we can look out for news from that, and hopefully we'll see some stuff from Toy Fair from Mattel. I think we saw the card art and like the card mock-up for the Turtles of Grayskull at Toy Fair last year. So
yeah, so maybe we'll see the Thundercats one this year.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you, Brennan. He is one of our OG crew members, and he's like, I'm late for a very important Toy Habits date. Yes, you are. But it's okay. Good to have you. I mean, we just started 12 minutes ago, so you're all good.
Yeah.
This is great news, though.
You just reminded me of something. I'm gonna pull this article in. So every year, Mattel is at German Toy Fair.
Yep.
And on their LinkedIn page, they released a video, like a sizzle reel that kind of recaps everything. And they did a kind of pan shot that was 2 seconds long of the Mochi booth, but
and blurry.
Yes. Yeah. And so like whenever you get a pan shot, you're not going to get crispy, clear images. And it's really tiny because it's in the bottom right corner of all places that they chose to pan. And, screw the videographers who did that. Like, I don't want to see the people talking. I want to see the action figures.
I know, right? It's like, but they don't even realize this is like a, like a trade video or whatever. And they're like focusing in on like their employees and how they're like interacting with each other. We want to see the toys. Screw that.
Yeah. So at the bottom, we did spot a carded Lion-O down here, and I can't wait for Roy, which is funny because he replied to our Instagram post with a smiley face and an upside down smiley face.
Oh, he's hinting at something, I bet you.
Well, yeah, I mean that's his stuff on display, although we can't see it very well. But anyway,
we're like, Roy, what are you hiding there? Big hello to the bareness of toys, and yes, you are late, but you're good. It's okay. You're joining Brennan. Both of you guys are late.
But
so Frank Pryor wants to know if the Vintage Collection is a Walmart exclusive. Right now, it looks like it is. But I guess we'll know that when we see another wave. But the first wave was exclusive to Walmart.
Yeah. So, hopefully that doesn't stay that way for long. Yeah. Because Walmart sucks. They can't even get their own inventory straight, which is horrible. So, anyways, there's a picture of Battle Cat Man in the background, and then this unknown figure could be He-Man. I mean, it's a chunky dude that's yellow.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Some people are commenting like, "Oh, is that Chitara?" But like, he's too chunky to be Chitara.
Chitara was actually she was in the shot. So she's there already, so it can't be her. And and Chitara was really thin.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, no, it's not. That's the only other orange one. But hey, tell him Jason me.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
See you. Oh my god, did you guys see Mega J's Cat Slayer unboxing? It's priceless. He ended up on Super 7's like their reel on their IG, their story.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, my husband showed it to me. He's like, "Oh, there's Jay." Like it was great. Came up on the reel. It was hilarious. And he was like hugging the Cat Slayer when he unpacked it, and it came like not even damaged. They added corner guards and a piece of cardboard on the top.
Came with that.
Yeah, like it looks like it was packed a little better. So good for him. Happy for him.
One of the benefits of getting the figures or that set mailed to you late.
Yeah, because they figured out how to. I mean, it was better. There was a tiny little bit of, but considering it went all the way to Canada, it was fantastic.
That's very
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, can't wait to see. And I guess we'll probably see this stuff either maybe at Toy Fair, but definitely on their, Motu March Madness drop that they do. And oh my gosh, should we just take that day off?
I know, right?
It's crazy.
Uh,
It's nuts. But you got some special Masterverse goodies
yes,
that
I did.
very excited for you to show off.
So we just pre-ordered these on Tuesday, right? And the kitty shows up on my front door today in the rain and everything. But he's awesome. This guy is, and he's a big chunky cat. But so I just did a review on this. It's on the website. I just published right before we went live. And then here's his box with awesome Panthor on the front. And then this very cool art scene on the back. And then when you open it up, there's a little bit more art, like a dragonfly and like a pterodactyl. It's not turbodactyl because I don't see any robotics on it. But and then on the inside, there's kind of like a black and white sketch, and then there's this artwork. But when you take this little cardboard artwork off, so you pull that off, there's the artwork, and then you flip it around, and this awesome backdrop.
Wow.
So you can use this on display on your shelf, and it's not that tall, so it's like a regular bookshelf size. It'll fit, so you can display your Panthor, your Skeletor with that behind it. So that is awesome. And now to look at the kitty cat. So I'll start with his head armor on because I'm not a fan, so I'm going to pull it right off after. So you guys can look at him with his armor on, and then it'll come right off. So I don't know. It's kind of a little bit odd on his head. I can't really get it on there good. Okay, there it goes. So that's Panthor with his little helmet armor on. You can see his eyes underneath there, and it's kind of got these little like fake tusks coming off the front rather than the horns that we're used to seeing from like the 2000X version of him. But that thing's gone. So the cool thing about him, so he's fully articulated just like the Masterverse Battle Cat was. His little paws move, all of this moves. But like the coolest thing I figured out about this Panthor, and this was at the end after I finished writing my review, and then I added it to it, is if you take a look at his mouth, so it's articulated, right? He's got teeth and fangs on the top and bottom. When you close his mouth, his teeth go up with it. So meaning when his mouth is open, and then let's see, like you can kind of see I'm trying to show you like the inside of his mouth. It's got little like the top of your mouth lines in there, but his teeth actually move. They move up and down. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So cool. and it does it just it's like it's gravity. So when you close his mouth, the teeth go up with it. So then he just has his fangs showing, right? And then when you open his mouth, he'll fall back down to expose his teeth.
So cool.
Which is awesome. That was like a very, very cool feature. And then he's got like you can kind of see that he's spotted.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take off his armor. You can see him naked. Oh, before I take his armor off, there's a holster on each side. So I put, Skeletor's Havoc staff on one side and then the spear on the other. So you can holster that. And then he's got little stirrups for Skelly's feet. I think that his foot came out of that one. And they just peg in. They're like soft rubber, but he's going for an exam. Okay. There's his other foot. Now we'll take Skelly off. So now you can see Panthor naked. He looks really cool. And he's got like his little paw prints, which is awesome. And I didn't realize this, but his little ankle bracers move. And I think I have the pictures of him crooked in the photos on the review, so my apologies. But the cool thing about it is, and there is a picture of this. Look at the top of his body.
Oh yeah,
he's got like panther spots on it.
That's really
cool. I don't know if it was like apparent in the promotional photos, but you can kind of see it here. And he's got a little bit of a shiny sheen to him. And then of course his tail is articulated. He has spots on his sides too, like here on the side of his legs. You can see the other side of him. So yeah, I mean he's pretty cool. Oh, and then his eyes are kind of like got like a translucent plastic, so they're kind of jeweled looking, sort of what they did with Merman a little bit. But you can see inside, so they look a little bit more three-dimensional, which is awesome. And I'm really trying to get a view of the inside of his mouth because it's like super detailed. Oh yeah, there you can see it. You see that on top of it? Yeah. So it looks very much mouth-like, and there's his tongue.
But yeah, there's like ridges on
Yeah,
the
the
top.
little ridges, like when you burn the roof of your mouth on hot soup or something. So there you go. There's Panthor. He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of people in the chat saying that the in-hand version of him looks a lot better than what they showed in his pics. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. I almost wasn't going to order him until I saw the final images, and I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool, and he was like $40 plus shipping. So totally worth it, and he's adorable.
Yeah, he is awesome. Yeah, he did not sell out, and so yeah, he is still available, which is great because I still need to order one.
Well, if you haven't caught him and you think he's cool, which he is, I highly suggest, if you want, order one. We've got the vintage collection Skeletor coming up, so he's gonna look great. And then I put the 40th anniversary Skelly on mine. But
that's cool. Also loves the toe beans.
Yes, they're cute.
So cute. It's so funny. I think that's what we call our dogs, toe beans.
Oh, how cute.
That's cute.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very so cool. That's Panthor for you.
Awesome. You got him so fast. Jeez.
2 days. I ordered on Tuesday morning, and he was in my house this afternoon. Granted, I live in LA, so I'm assuming it's shipped from somewhere in, maybe El Segundo or something, but
you just walk it over.
It went right. He just trotted over. I'm here.
Yes. Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, that is the Motu news for the week. We'll actually have some more early Masterverse info coming next week too. So be sure to stay tuned for whenever that's going to drop next week. We haven't figured it out yet. So.
Absolutely, it will. And I was just going to say, if you want to look at close-up pictures and take your time, take a look at the review, and then we've got links to where to get it, just on mattelcreations.com. So photos of all of this that I just showed you guys are available online for your enjoyment. Yeah, he came back pretty nice. There you go.
Yeah, it came out really, really great.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Your picks always make me want to get one, even though I'm like, I'll either wait till it goes on sale or wait till they make another version. But now I want this one.
It's cool. I mean, my thought is, by the time they make another version, it's going to be quite a while. And if they do, then you can sell your previous one if you're happier with the new version. But we still haven't gotten another Battle Cat. How long have we had that Revelation Battle Cat? Years.
Yeah, years. Yeah. Yeah, he was the first one out of the gate with He-Man and Mossman and Lynn.
We still don't have a classic looking Battle Cat.
No.
So you might be holding your breath for a while if you don't pick them up. Just a word to everybody out there.
Yeah, and I mean, if they reuse the same parts, then they probably have made a new Eternia Battle Cat if they're making Panthor. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is all good.
Yeah.
All right. So this next news story was a very fun one. And our good friend, It's Chad, we have to thank for these leaks. And this was about a week ago. It's Chad sent me a note, and this was, about a week before the news dropped, and he gave me time to prep an article, which was really, really cool. And so basically we launched the article right after his video had aired, and he had some major news concerning the G.I. Joe classified Haslabs, which was awesome. Yeah. If you've seen the article, I'm sure you've watched the video, but if you haven't, go over to his channel as he breaks it down with his good buddy Laser Pants, who we also met at SDCC. That was really fun. But I mean, this was a bombshell, and It's Chad has his own source for his information, and he is also the guy who brought us the news of the Cup Triple T coming, the Mobat Optimus Prime, and so we consider him a trusted source. That said, can toy companies change their mind as time goes on? Yes. Have they changed their mind in some cases? Sure. Do they change their minds? Yes. In the preamble to his video, he breaks down Hasbro becoming a little bit more risk averse with their future toy offerings and decisions. So this is the information we have to go off today. And, as we know, toy companies like Hasbro, they love to do their market research, and they're shopping around for possible G.I. Joe ground vehicles in classified series scale for their Haslab offering, which is very cool.
It is cool. And so you did an amazing article on this where you took a poll, right?
Yep.
And we'll dive into the results of that poll as well. But there's some really cool options on the table. So we're going to talk about these right now.
Yeah, so these were interesting. So basically what's being shopped around for these options are the Snowcat, and we'll get into all the details and the information that we have on what was shown in these quote unquote focus groups. But the Snowcat, the Mauler, the Havoc, and the Hammer, which everybody was like, what the heck is the Hammer? It came out really late in the line, a little bit like right before they went.
It looks like a Hummer instead of a hammer, right?
It does, yeah. Funny story. I did see MC Hammer driving on the freeway in his Hummer through a city called Tracy when I was, in college. So it was pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
So, but yes, yeah, we're gonna have a fun show. We're gonna go through each option and share the details that we know, and at the end we'll talk about the poll and see what fans picked. We got over 1,000 people voting in this poll, which makes the margin of error really, really small. So I'm really excited about these results. I'm a researcher by trade, so I nerd out on this kind of stuff.
Michael's like, ew, like he's having so much fun with this.
I know, right?
Card, I agree with you. If it's the SoCat, then he says it might be his first Haslab. I've gotten the Sky Striker. I did not, and I did get the Dragonfly, but I didn't get the Rattler just because it was so big. But I agree with you. Like, if you ask me, out of all of these, I would love to get a Snowcat in classified.
Yeah, they're very cool stuff that they're thinking about. What is up, Kenzo's Creations? Glad that you are joining us in the chat. Oh my gosh, Jedi Ben, you're for a whale. Yeah, right.
I love Ryan's question. I wonder what kind of tiers each of these would have. Well, that's a really good question, Ryan. So we're going to talk about each of these, and then let's hear from you guys what you think each of the tier things could be, or the bonuses and that stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about the oddball in the lineup. And I say this is an oddball because it's a very nondescript vehicle that came out in 1990, and like you said, it looks like the Hummer, and it looks like one of those military vehicles you like order off of like Amazon that are like a third party brand or whatever to play with your like you're like your army men or something. Yeah,
it looked it's very generic is my point, right? It's not very G.I. Joe-esque.
No, but it can carry a lot of troops, and it has a lot of cool, tech on it, if you want to call it tech from the 90s. But
it does.
Yeah. It's got some cool playability features. I mean, the vintage one has a functioning trunk. You can open the hood, and, there's like turrets and machine guns, and there is a gas can in the back, which is removable, which is kind of a nod to the Vamp. Yeah. So that was
like a Vamp on crack.
Yeah.
Right? Like over exaggerated.
Right. But yeah, I think the best part, this was before they went really off the rails with like the bright neon orange and neon green, but like everything was in realistic colors, which is nice.
Yes. When they started getting into the digitized burst explosion, that we're on the precipice of neon colored.
Yeah,
right. The 8-bit burst explosion.
Jedi Ben, this is the most figure accepting in its OG form. Yeah, you can pack a lot of figures in this vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, like, for playability, if you're a kid and you want to put a whole bunch of vehicles, it's like kind of like a vehicle carrier. But in terms of like style and design, it just totally looks like a generic Hummer military vehicle. So
Yes.
that's why it's kind of like an oddball in the Joe line, because all of their things were so like custom designed to be more, GI Joe like. So this was kind of an odd choice, but an awesome carrier for a bunch of figures.
Yeah, mint with card. It's a vamp in drag. I love it. Ryan Cole says, I could see a dedicated gunner or something that you could put as add-ons. Yeah, you could totally do a lot of add-ons to this. And Mr. Magnus, you are absolutely correct. I was just about to get to this. One of the things that Chad mentioned in his video is that Hasbro needs to get the license from Hummer in order to make this more Humvee-esque. So
yes, like more official. And so on this one, and I want to hear from everybody in chat, who do you think should be the main vehicle driver? Because they always, pack it with the first thing. And then what do you think should be the additional tiers for this?
Oh, geez. It's funny. They I don't think any other tiers or figures were mentioned for this, and I'm sure that they're gonna have one, but yeah, well, people are thinking of it. This was shown in 3 different colors. So they had a Night Force flavor, which is black, of course, and I don't know if the like stickers would be glow in the dark or whatever, but Night Force deco black. Original, which was kind of like the colors shown here, and then also a camouflage version. And so, with these options, they're also,
cool,
right? They're also soliciting other ways to show off the vehicle too.
So if we zoom in on the artwork that's there, let me see if I can do that. Just to take a look at what Hasbro had in mind in terms of the characters that would go with this, and it's a really cool vehicle. I can see Pathfinders on the back, and I'm curious to see who the other characters are. I'm actually blowing this up. If you go to the next slide, I've got that there. If you want to show that. Oh, it did not go. Let me hit refresh and see if it's in there.
Oh, I think I have to hit refresh on my side.
Oh, so go for it. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's there. Now we can see the close-up of the artwork. There you go.
Yes.
Wonderful. So yeah, it looked like Pathfinder's on the back, and then I forget the name of the guy with the orange vest that's on the gunner's seat.
Yeah, I am blanking on a lot of these folks. Yeah, they came out a lot later. I'm sure that can help fill us in with those.
Yeah. Topside, yes. It's Topside, but I don't think Topside had a helmet, so maybe Topside's wearing a helmet. I thought he had like his crew cut, right? And then it's hard to see who's in the other seat. And can't even make out the driver in here. So these two other guys on the passenger side is very difficult to make out as well.
Oh yeah, Salvo, yeah, Rampart and Salvo, yep.
Yes.
There.
On the left. Okay, there you go. And then who's in the gunner seat up on top? Ambush is in the back. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, Ambush. Yeah, Salvo is in the gunner seat.
Okay.
Tippy top.
Got it. And then can anyone see who the vehicle driver is? That one's hard to make out.
Kenzo says OJ
Simpson's driving. I love it, Kenzo. That's freaking hilarious. Do you know that was my graduation day? That OJ Simpson chase.
Oh my gosh.
That's and great. Like I literally was going to a restaurant for dinner for my graduation that was like parallel to his freeway chase, and it was happening at the same time because we were driving to Westwood, and he was on the 405 freeway as we were going to dinner. So like we saw all the helicopters kind of following our route. It was hilarious. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got Gridiron, Captain Gridiron in the passenger seat. So yeah, there's some really like later figures that they could pack with this. Yeah. And they haven't really done much with figures from like the late 80s and early 90s.
Yeah. Dusty might be in the driver's seat. Oh, maybe you might be right.
Yeah, or maybe it's like Big Ben or something. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? But
But
interesting.
there's a lot of really cool characters here. It's like more deep cuts, diving deeper into the later part of the line. So this could be, looking back at this, it's a big vehicle. You pack a whole bunch of your classified figures on it, and then there's all these characters that we haven't gotten yet at all. So
Yeah,
it makes this more of an interesting choice,
it
right?
does. It does. The researcher in me thinks that, this was thrown in there because I think they have to have one that's like lackluster to like make the other ones shine through.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's hilarious.
But yeah, I'm kind of hard pressed to kind of come up with anything cool for this because it's like, I don't know. I'm not. This is not like GI Joe for me.
No, that's why I was saying it felt more like, generic military vehicle.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah. What does feel more GI Joe is the next option, which is the Havoc, which is the heavy articulated vehicle ordnance carrier. Like this is the epitome of like GI Joe tech.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, see, this is more, like GI Joe style, right? This is absolutely something they would do. And this is a cool choice because it's not ginormous.
No.
It's more manageable. And I think it could be a better price point. And it's an interesting looking vehicle, right? Because you can pack a couple guys in it. It won't take up a ton of space, and it might be at a price point that's more palatable to people. So if you do hit refresh one more time, I've actually done the same thing with the remaining choices, so we can take a look at the artwork for each of these and then kind of analyze who is all on there. So,
okay, let me just
not a problem. See, we're doing stuff on the fly here, guys, because it's collaborative. It's fun that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and what's really cool when we look at the artwork, there's pieces of the Havoc that dislodge and kind of turn into mini vehicles, like off the back, which is really, really neat. Did that load up for you?
It did, yeah. I just need to.
I know you're going back to it.
Get back to it.
So one of my favorite characters is actually riding on the back. So let's go ahead and take a look at the artwork that's on the next slide. So that's Lifeline. That's in that little little jetpack vehicle thing that's popping off the back. That looks really cool. I would love to get Lifeline. He needs to be a mainline character anyway. And then Dial Tone is in the passenger seat. And who is that in the driver's seat down below? And of course, that's Hawk up on top.
There's Dial Tone. There's Cross Country is the vehicle.
Cross Country, that's who it is.
Yeah, so he's in the driver's seat.
So this is
it was funny you were talking about this one being the most cost effective. This was actually the most cost ineffective option of all of them. So if they were going to make this, they said that this one is actually going to cost the most out of the options that they're thinking about.
Just because of the engineering alone on this thing and the separate parts that like pop off. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So so for this one, it's interesting. They have some options that they were talking about, and so the engineering for this thing is going to be a little bit different. But like the hammer option, this vehicle was shown in 3 different colors. Again, Night Force, original, and camouflage, which was interesting.
That's really cool. So it looks like the back. I never had this vehicle, so the back looks like it pops open and that little sled pops out of it.
Yeah, it's a little hovercraft, and then the things that they're thinking that they're going to be redesigning, and so I don't think this will come with a hovercraft proper. Chad said it's going to come with a drone, and so maybe that's their version of the hovercraft.
Yeah, that makes it a little less appealing to me because it's like less classic, kind of pulling away from what's making the Joe line that like special. I think a lot it hits home to a lot of people when they do things that are a wonderful homage to the original line, and I think that's probably why I gravitated towards the Dragonfly so much because it was so classic, and then it came with Wild Bill and the other characters that kind of brought home what that vehicle should be. So I mean, just in my opinion, like keeping it more to the original design would probably be a better route for them.
Yeah. But yeah, so some of the design changes that they're thinking about here is like it's not going to have that articulated gunner seat anymore. It's going to be more of a fixed placement. Chad was saying, so Chad's a military guy. He is a veteran. And we thank him for his service. So he was saying that it might be akin to what like the Crows 2 military vehicle that have pictured here for like a gunner placement. And then instead of having the hovercraft in the back, he was saying that they're showing that it could house troops in the back akin to the alien APC that Hiya Toys made. Yeah, so there's a lot of design changes for this Havoc. So I'm really interested to see like what the heck it's actually going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, Juju G says original Havoc with more detail and lights or nothing. So I'm not the only one out here that feels like should keep it more to the original, but it'd be exciting to see what they would do with this one in any case. But it's got exciting figures associated with it, so they can have some really nice tiers to go along with it.
Yeah, it's really it's kind of cool. And from what Chad was saying, they actually showed the cross country figure, and he said it was like a dead-on version of cross country.
Wow,
which
that's
is
awesome. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the camp with Paul. Like, I like these proposed changes because, like, I don't want a ginormous version that's like just like the vintage like design. Although I do like aspects of it, but I do want to see like for a Haslab for them to do different things too. So
yeah,
I'm in that camp. And I think it will probably come with lights and yeah, I mean the scale of this would be pretty big because it's got to house the 6-inch figures. So
I need those for the 405. Really need one of those today in the rain, Joe. On the freeway. That's funny. That's the main freeway that runs through.
Oh, for the 40, got it. I thought I was thinking of the 788 fire team for some reason.
Oh no. Joe is also from Los Angeles, so that's a SoCal thing. It's the 405 freeway that runs from Los Angeles all the way down to San Diego and eventually turns into the 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So, interesting. If they can make the form factor look like this, I'd be fine with it. So like they made the Haslab Hiss. The form factor looks pretty much like a vintage Hiss, but you can actually put figures inside of it. So there is a precedent for, kind of staying with that vintage design and kind of making some modifications that are really cool.
Absolutely. And it's sounding like, looking at the chat, it seems like people are a little bit split between keeping it original and doing updates. So, a choice like this, it might like kind of fracture where people, fall within if they want to back it or not. Like it's a more controversial choice, I guess, if they go with this, right? Because if they think radical design changes, some people might be like, "Oh, that's really cool," and some people might be like, "Oh, it's too different than the original. I want what I grew up with and played with as a kid." So it could be a little bit of a, polarizing choice, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, GI Moss Man with a pull string.
There you go.
So yeah, we know that cross country is one of the figures that is, will come with this if it's actually made. We don't have any information for other figures or other tiers, but I mean, you can imagine that they could, kind of like the Hiss, they could make panels, armaments, bombs, whatever.
Yeah. Mr. Gus wants vehicles you can start storing figures in. I mean, Not that
Yeah.
it's on the list, but how cool would an APC be that you can store your figures and then the back can convert into like a little playset thing? Like that would have been a really cool choice too. Because
Yeah.
if you remember, the Action Force version of the APC was not a storage for the figures, but rather had like play features in the back. I don't remember if it was like a medical kit or something else back there, but that would have been a cool design as well. So you can
Yeah.
do like both things. But that's probably for a future Haslab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's the Havoc option, and it's funny if they take the articulated gun seat away, you kind of lose the A in Havoc, so it just becomes the Havoc or the
Exactly.
Havoc.
Exactly.
So yeah, and of course, I don't think we'll ever get to see all these other designs that are being shopped around, because I think they probably just go, they'll probably put them in the pool for next, the next Haslab, the ones that weren't picked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right.
And we kind of know what's in the hopper.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
do Joe then Cobra, Joe then Cobra.
Yep.
And we'll see. So it'll be a while till these make
Yeah.
their rounds again.
Yeah. All right. The next option is the Mauler, and according to Chad, the Mauler's been in the running about the same time the Dragonfly was being considered, so we know who won that battle. And so yeah, this was a cool vehicle. I had the Mobat, but not the Mauler. This was released in '85, and it's a pretty it's a cool tank. It's a pretty nondescript tank.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of flair to it, but it's pretty realistic.
Was this the one that actually went that was battery powered?
I think they're both
They're both battery powered. Yeah.
I believe.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I mean, that would if it's kind of a
future
more
speak.
simpler nondescript tank, I guess what I'm getting at is if it actually was, electronic and like could roll.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be really cool.
That would be
right?
awesome.
Yeah. The one thing like integrating the play features of the things that we had as kids into these Haslabs, I think is really key and making it like that much cooler. So doing that to this tank would actually be a wonderful homage to it and make it just that much more of an exciting Haslab. On the Dragonfly, on the side it makes the rotors go, but they omitted that from the Haslab Dragonfly. You have to just turn the rotors with your finger.
Yeah.
So making this motorized would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Yeah, it's a better design. It's less blocky than the Mobat, so it's more interesting to look at.
Yeah.
It did come with heavy metal, which is a fun figure. The custom, so this is a classified series custom from Yojo ARH, who did a custom heavy metal. So heavy metal is one of the figures that's being shopped around as coming with the Mauler, and also Steeler, which I thought was an interesting choice because they're both tank operators.
Yeah. Heavy metal's a really cool character. Would love to get him in classified. He has this little like bomber jacket on and helmet and goggles. A little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow that he's known for. So that would be a really fun one. And Steeler is just like a cool, like companion figure to go along with it. So that would be fun. I mean,
yeah, that would be fun. If they did make a Mauler, I doubt they would make a Mobat. So it would actually make sense for Steeler, if he was ever to come to the line, to come with this particular Haslab.
Absolutely.
Some of the proposed features that this thing would have would be like interchangeable armor that you can replace. So like explosive reactive armor, so that you can just kind of pull off and put on. And I think that was pretty much all of the details that we had. Although there was another figure that's being shopped around, and it's a heavy weapons, just GI Joe army builder. So we don't have a picture of what that would look like, but it sounds more like a troop builder.
Looks really cool. Yeah. And then on this one, if we take a look at the card art a little closer, it looks We've got well, obviously heavy metal is going to be our driver. It's hard to see who's sticking out of the
Could be Steeler.
out of the tank.
Or
Oh yeah, there you go. And Recondo,
maybe
of course.
heavy metal. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. Oh, that could be. You're right. Yeah. So, I mean, we already have Recondo in all his forms, so that one's an obvious one. So I guess you can't take too much out of the artwork on this one.
Yeah, this one was interesting. They had like a full color art for the front, but then they kind of cheesed out and did like the black and white version on the back in 85 for some reason.
I know. And yeah, and so this one says it has with 2 forward speeds, batteries not included.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Hal is awesome. He's throwing the spice in here. The hiss is more of a tank than the Mauler. Where's Chad? Chad made a fun video that's, saying that the hiss is not a tank, and he goes through all the reasons why the hiss is not a tank. So I think you're thinking militaristically.
Yeah, I know. But it's supposed to be a fantasy, Yes. It's what G.I. Joe is. So. Yeah. And especially Cobra, right? Everything Cobra.
Oh my gosh, yeah, with Cobra Commander's branding and all the crazy stuff that he does.
Totally up there.
But yeah, the Mauler would be interesting. For me, I don't know if it has enough just visual appeal for me to stare at, look at it all day long.
Yeah, that's true. It's a bit, for me, it's too drab brown, I guess, in its color. It's not so interesting. But maybe if they did something to spice it up a little bit, in terms of maybe adding some different color to some of the panels, or the turret or something like that, I think they can make it look a little.
The mud flaps, make them neon green, right?
There you go. But yeah, I think they can do something and add some color to this and make it like a funner vehicle to sit on your shelf.
Yeah, it would be fun. So this is I think the third option that we've gone through, and the fourth one, which I think a lot of people are really psyched about, is the possibility of a snow cat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's funny, Yojo ARH did a custom Frostbite, but then he also he 3D printed a snow cat. So here, it's if you want to take a look at the scale, you can kind of see what a classified scale snow cat would look like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Joe says Snowcat is my vote. Yeah, and you better have voted in that poll, Joe. Come on. If you haven't, there's still time.
Yeah, go to toyhabits.com. You can find the article there and vote for what your choice is. I think this was running second. Was the Mauler number one?
Let's not reveal anything before it's time.
I didn't know you had the thing revealed. Never mind, you didn't hear that. Okay, I'm just totally guessing, but this would be my vote as well. I have the vintage vehicle of this. It's a lot of fun. I love the cat on the side with the logo. Because you can brand a lot of cool stuff with this, right? So we have and we'll take a look at the artwork in a second, but you got Snow Job and another character hanging off the back. But this is one you can see the Arctic sub teams with the little Snowcat logos added to their outfits and stuff like that. That would just make it so fun, and just the whole Arctic build out of all of the different tiers that come with it, which would be incredible. We already have some very cool Arctic figures as it is. We have Snow Jobs, so which is awesome. So to get Frostbite as well would be really, really cool. Baroness, Baroness of Toys. I think the Snowcat should definitely be the next Haslab. I think a lot of people are excited for it. Dr. Nodge, no good. Sorry, Dr. No Good. The Snowcat can make me into the Cobra Baslink. Just voted. Joe just voted. Good for you, Joe.
Awesome, Joe.
Oh, Roman says something pretty cool. According to Lenny, said that the Snowcat would be a regular release like Dreadnought Thunder Machine.
Yeah, so we reported on this back in December of 2023. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was Lenny did say that these would be good candidates for a regular release, but this is a year ago, and this is what is being shown as a possible HasLab. So fast forward a year and change. And, I think some of the design changes that they're thinking about would actually make this a decent HasLab. I love Paul's hot take. This is the worst option for a HasLab, way too small to be considered a dream project, in my opinion. Yes, but I think some of the design changes that they're considering could make this, could make it a good HasLab, or at least a decent one.
What I was going to say is, of course, space is always the greatest challenge for all of us collectors, space and money, right? So then why do all of the HasLabs have to be a ginormous thing? Why can't they be a cool thing that we normally would have and then add extra stuff with it to make it that much cooler, right?
Yeah.
So you can have this awesome snowcat, you can pack it up with a whole bunch of cool vehicles, and maybe it has some world building items that come along with it, right? So that would be really cool, just to kind of build it out and make it more of a thing. But we don't always have to have everything that takes a ton of space, because there's so many HasLab projects, and if you're backing them all, where are they going to fit? I got this giant cat in my toy room. Never going to happen again, right? This thing's awesome, but it's one and done. I can't order another giant play set. So we gotta start scaling stuff down a little bit for our HasLabs.
Amen, sister. Yeah, I don't know why HasLab equals like ginormous thing. Like they made Jabba's sail barge 4 feet long. They made the Ghost nearly 3 feet long, and those are for the 3 3/4 inch figures. And so let alone 6-inch scale like Black Series figures. But yeah, it's like, why does it have to be this huge thing that you have to pay a lot of money for? Like they could totally make yeah, they could totally make one that is regular size, that comes with a lot of cool stuff. And you're right. It's like there's going to be a point where you have burst capacity. You are not.
I think we're already there. It's been okay. So I don't know how many years has it been since we've been doing HasLab projects, like at least like 5, right?
Yep.
And every single year, and if you're a collector that collects, lines that like crossover, you've got Motu, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Marvel, all these lines, and they all have HasLabs, and they're all huge. And if you really want to partake, you're going to run out of room. Not everybody has a big toy room.
No.
Like, we have, dedicated space in our house, but not everybody has that space. And they're going to come to a point where it's unfeasible anymore to be expecting people to have the real estate to house these giant vehicles and play sets. It's just unreal. And then you have to give up stuff that you have in order to make room for it.
Yeah. Mint with card. I would actually like a Defiant HasLab because it has more vertical space than horizontal space. So I'm not a no on a Defiant HasLab, or that would be like
that would be amazing. But yeah, again, it's huge.
It'd be fun. And we shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, we can't get mired in the scale of this stuff, or it just it just kind of.
I know. I'm just saying, like, the toy companies need to keep that in mind, and they can't always make everything huge. Maybe they do one year it's a big thing, maybe another year it's a smaller thing with a big pack out, then the following year it's another big thing, but vary it so that we're not constantly berated with giant playsets.
Yeah. One of the interesting figures that is a weird choice to be floated around for this HasLab is the Snow Bunny Baroness. So it would be a Cobra figure that would be coming with a G.I. Joe HasLab. So interesting choice. Maybe, like the Baroness is already coming with the Cobra Hiss. Maybe they need to get more money out of her buck, but that would just be a weird choice.
That would be a weird choice, but it'd be kind of fun. Again, something exciting that you can do with this.
How funny. Paul was reading the tea leaves here. How do we feel about the possibility of the Baroness being included with a Joe vehicle? Yeah, I think it's odd. It would be fun to have her as like a boxed release at some point in the line, but not with a G.I. Joe vehicle. I think that's just weird.
Yeah.
All right. And then, all right. So we haven't talked about the proposed design changes. Is there anything that you wanted to mention on the box?
So we can see we have Snow Job, we got Frostbite. It looks like there's Snake Eyes, and then is that Alpine also riding in the back next to Snow Job?
Possibly. He looks.
Yeah, I think so because I see his little pickaxe in his hand. And so these are all figures we have except for obviously the vehicle driver. But again, this could have some amazing pack out stuff with it.
Yeah, I mean, we do need our whatever 73rd version of Snake Eyes. So I mean, he could.
We do, but what would be really cool with this? What if it came with a polar battle bear as a pack out or a set of them? Right, that's the little the little snow mobile. That would be really cool if you got a snowcat and two like polar battle bears next to it. So you got two snowmobiles and this thing, and then some cool figures. That would be a cool Haslab.
That would be cool. Mint with card would be cool with a Snow Bunny Baroness. Paul says, just give her a retail release or save her for a Cobra Wolf. Oh yeah, so there's so many things that they could do with more scaled down versions and not like 2 or 3 foot long.
Yes,
Haslab designs.
Yeah.
But yeah. So one of the options that they're kicking around, so there are 2 possibilities, and so one would be a retro version that would have lights. And it would pretty much look like the vintage Snowcat. So Yojo ARAH's version that he 3D printed and applied his signature paint job to would be that. And you can kind of see the custom 6-inch classified scale Frostbite on it. So you can kind of see the scale of like how big this vehicle is. And it's like, it is pretty large. I mean, people say like, oh, the Snowcat's small, but it is pretty big.
No. I mean, it's probably about the size of his tank.
Yeah.
Right. So this I think this would qualify as a pretty cool Haslab. It doesn't have to be considered a small vehicle. It's obviously bigger than the Vamp. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And
yeah.
Look who snuck in here. We got Ken from Toy Connections. How it is going, Ken?
Ken is
I haven't seen Ken for a while. How you been, my friend? We're talking G.I. Joe.
No, his ears were burning, sure. But yeah, the retro version would definitely cater to some of the things that you were saying about the Havoc. Just kind of keep it retro with kind of those nods to the vintage vehicle, which is fine.
Yeah. I think I kind of find like when they do that, they're the more successful projects because like everybody can get behind it. More people get excited. Sometimes when they make too many new modernized changes, that's when it kind of polarizes people, and some people like it and some people don't. So if they want like a guaranteed hit, like go with what's classic, go with what's retro. It's going to be nostalgic for everybody, and then it'll be a winner. So
yes. So that's one option. Another option is an updated version with more of a retro front end. So keeping like the front end of the Snowcat the same. And then what they're proposing is that the back where the missiles are, it's kind of like the Ice Saber that was released in 2004. It's kind of like pops down and pops up. It's like retractable. Which is interesting. But the back end could also house troops in it too. And so I think they're trying to make this a little bit more Haslab-y, if you will, just making some of those design changes. So if they could retain the overall look and feel of the Snowcat with these design changes, I think that would actually make a really cool way, because you could house figures, you can have a different way, like a kind of a mechanism that goes up and down instead of something that's stationary.
Right? All of the vintage Thunder Tank kind of like has a little seat that like pops up, with some guns on it. That would be pretty cool.
Lone Dragon says, "Ew, hard pass on that."
Yeah, I mean, I'm not keen on the design of that, more modern looking vehicle. I love what the Snowcat, the original Snowcat, looks like. I would be okay with them changing the mechanism on the rear gun. That's okay. I don't think that like kills the retro design too much. It would be all right. But maintaining, the classic look of the exteriors. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it would take on the look of the ice saber. It's just the mechanisms and the like the ability to, I guess, shove figures in the back like they're thinking about doing for the Havoc. So it's interesting. Like, again, I wish they would show some of these options just to the general public. Like, they would get such a wider like read on what people want for these things instead of doing like, whatever they're doing with these focus groups. Like, even our poll was probably more statistically sound than the research that they're doing.
Absolutely. I like TC's suggestion here. I'd say update, but throw in stretch goals to retrofy it. So how cool would it be if you can it be a modular piece that it could either have that mechanism that's the more modern take on it, or you pop that out and then put kind of the more standard looking vintage style rear guns as an extra tier, right? An unlocked tier. So here's the retro look for it. And they did that with the Hiss tank, right? So I think that absolutely could be a way to go. Paul agrees. So TC, you got Paul's buy off on that. That's a winner.
Lone Dragon, I missed the beginning. Did we discuss the 0 parts of Cross Country's uniform that Hasbro could use today? Yeah, Cross Country didn't have the most interesting uniform. He kind of looked like a Boy Scout.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Ken says winter stretch goal characters. Yes, those would be interesting. And I don't know if Ken was here for this discussion, but if you can weigh in on the option that they're tossing around coming with this, it would be the Snow Bunny Baroness paired with a GI Joe vehicle. I find it weird. I mean, it would be neat to get a Snow Bunny Baroness figure, but I think it's just weird to have it come with a GI Joe Haslab.
She'd be good just for like a convention exclusive, because it's like a repaint of something. It's kind of special. You don't really need to have it in your collection, but it's cool if you're a diehard fan. So that would be just. And if they do a Snowcat for their Haslab, when they introduce it or whatever, that's a perfect time to have that as a convention exclusive, because it'll tie into the Haslab that they're unveiling or whatever. So
yes. All right. Yeah, so those are the options, and you can check out if you would just want to learn about maybe a captured prison.
It's not like way on Java's sale March.
Paul said that Cross Country is faithful to the original, sans the Confederate flag belt buckle. Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to leave that one out. But yeah, you can check out the article that's on the website, and you can also take the poll if you have not yet. And so here we can see how many. So there's 1,069 people have voted in this thing. So the margin of error is around 3% for these things. So if we take a look at the results, they should be loading in quick. If not, I will refresh again and see what we got. Here we go. Okay. So we have basically what's happening here is the Snowcat and the Mauler are kind of the top two choices, but since the margin of error is about 3%, they're in a statistical dead heat. So there is not a winner to pick for these two. No. So I think what it's saying is like people would be happy with either one of these.
Yeah.
And we should probably do a follow-up SmackDown poll between the Snowcat and the Mauler to see what people actually really want out of those two, given the choice, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good idea.
Or rerun it with just the Snowcat, the Havoc, and the Mauler, and take the hammer out. The hammer was not a big big crowd pleaser with this one.
I know. I mean, would it also help to take out none of the above? I know it's always good to know that, but that's eating away at, if you had to choose between the three and that's all you had to choose from.
Yes. Yeah. We could take this out. And,
we're opening up too much. Yeah.
The researcher in me does not like to take out none of the above, but I will do it for a SmackDown poll.
Okay, good. I know. I'm not a researcher, so I don't mind if it goes away.
That's funny. Country Gentleman, Hammer, of course. I'm in the minority big time. The Hammer got hammered.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we did leave out the whale. Sorry, Jedi Ben. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well, I could have put that in the pool.
yes, you could go in the pool.
I know. I was in the pool.
It's the pool. So yeah, interesting. The polls that we do for the Masters of the Universe, they usually predict the outcome, and this is the first, I think, GI Joe poll that we've done, and so this is going to be a slow burn until we get to see what actually comes out as the Haslab. But it'd be interesting to revisit these results once that Haslab comes out, if it's any of these 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Totally
Yeah.
need to do that.
So yeah, Snowcat, the Mauler, and the Havoc. Between the Havoc and the Mauler is winning, and also like there's the margin of error is overlapping between the Snowcat and the Havoc, and also the Snowcat and the Mauler, and so yeah, it's what we call a statistical dead heat for these guys. So Hasbro, please do your homework and please do your research well, because we want some good decisions here.
Absolutely.
So
well, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
yeah, it totally is. And whether it's so funny because people get hung up on oh, is Chad right or wrong? For me, it's not. And we do this with Masters and we do this with other things. It's not. It's the discussion and it's the possibility of these things coming out. It's not that like we need to nail these things 100% of the time. Like it's fun. Like it was fun to talk about this stuff for the last hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like, what the possibilities can be and who they can come with. Yeah, I mean, that's the same kind of conversations that the designers and the executives at Hasbro are having when they're trying to make these decisions. And they all start with, their research and marketing and all that kind of stuff and figuring out what decisions to make. And it all starts with a concept and a plan, and then it starts to flesh out from there. But it's fun to have these conversations.
Yeah, and obviously the people in the polls don't know what these things look like, and so we're kind of voting on what we're remembering the vintage vehicles are, and kind of what we might like for these things too. So.
Well, it's all we have to go off of. So
that's right. It's like, come on, Hasbro, just release some images here, like make it fun.
Like, yeah, I mean, if they want just to show some like artistic sketches, maybe they can have a fan vote, like Mattel did, and see what the fans want, and then they can move past it and go, okay, great, we heard what the fans like, and here's a concept, and then they'll move forward once they get a fan vote. I mean, that's something to help also with their marketing in terms of saying that they're listening to the fans, and that we matter what we want to buy.
Yep. Jedi Ben, Chad is just talking toys like we all do. He has some more insight than most. Good conversations either way. And we caveat the stuff with the stuff that we release early information for too, is like all of these companies can change their minds at a drop of a hat. Like it's funny. This was also like recent news in the last couple of weeks, is like Hasbro's moving to like digital. They're moving towards like more digital than physical, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get some digital Haslabs. Cool.
Digital figures that you download to your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so. That's like, that's their answer to what they're gonna do when collectors run out of space.
Yeah. Here we go. Paul makes a great point. Yeah, no matter what, this has been a lot of fun to speculate. Chad's vibe is great though, so everyone should watch it after the stream ends, of course. Yes.
Absolutely. Check out the video. It's extremely informative, and thank you for Chad for sharing his insights and for sharing the information with us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's really fun, and more to come. As Chad gets information on his end, we'll get the information around the same time, and we'll likely to have a simultaneous drop like this, which was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. All right. If we don't have anything else on the Joe news, just a couple other stories we want to touch on before we wrap up. We had a big drop yesterday, or actually, we got shared some images yesterday in a drop that went up today. Big shout out to our friend Mega J Retro for helping out, getting us an early look at the amazing Egon and Boogeyman 2-pack set from Mondo. This went up for pre-order on mondoshop.com this morning, and it looks incredible. Like, they are doing an amazing job with these Ghostbuster figures. So these are 6-inch scale figures, and they look incredible. This is like right out of the cartoon series. So there's a 2-pack that has Egon and the Boogeyman, and then this little blue ghost. And they're doing the same thing that they did with Peter, where you can buy him individually. So he's quite expensive, but I guess these are really premium figures. So you can get the whole set for $202. And this goes up. It's a timed edition, so it started today. Goes up through March 13th at noon, 11:59 a.m., not p.m. What Mondo likes to do and screw with people, because they close their pre-orders in the middle of the freaking day at lunchtime. But Mondo, you might want to rethink that because people miss out. But anyway, I digress. You can also order Egon by himself with the blue ghost, and he does come with a multitude of accessories, and that one's $101. I have yet to see Egon go up for pre-order by himself on any other selling platform like Entertainment Earth or BBTS. I know both those websites had gotten Peter Venkman by himself that you could pre-order for $101. Right now, these are just on Mondo Shop, but like they look amazing. Like, these guys did an incredible job with the sculpt. They come with a multitude of accessories. So here you can see what the special pack, the exclusive pack comes with. So you got like multiple heads for Boogeyman and hands, and of course there's a couple heads for Egon. He's got gloved hands. His proton pack, his PKE meter, this little blue ghost. You get a ghost trap, and then there's also like a little ghost like he's sucking into the proton pack or into the ghost trap as well, which is really cool. And that does come with, this is the pack out for just Egon by himself. So if you get Egon by himself, you still get that little ghost trap with the little ghost that looks like he's getting sucked in, which is really, really cool. Add-on. I know. It is very cute. And then, if you take a look at these photos, I mean, like the second head sculpt that he comes with, his little mouth hanging open, he's like freaking out, like looking down at his meter. These look so good. And then here he is next to Peter. Like, if you're a Ghostbuster fan and you watch the cartoon, I know these are very expensive. I don't think I've seen any other rendition of the cartoon series in like plastic form done better than this. So they're doing an amazing job. I ordered Peter by himself. I may get Egon if I'm able to order it from one of those pre-order sites from Entertainment Earth or BBTS. I will see, but because I just want to get like the four main Ghostbusters and their cartoon look, that would be awesome. And these are 6.5 inches, and actually, Boogeyman's 8.5 inches, so he's a little bit bigger. Egon's always one of the taller Ghostbusters, so that's why he measures a little higher. And then you can see, the companion ghost and the little dude getting sucked into the ghost trap. That's really cool because it looks like, there's like little plume of smoke, which is awesome. And look, you can like step on the little button to open the trap up, and you can just have so much fun with these guys. So yeah, just all the amazing pictures here. And then even the accessories have like little movable parts. PKE meter, you can open up the little antennas on it. And then the backpack is like super, super detailed, little straps, and holds that proton pack in there. So just a really cool set. So check that out. And here's when we saw them at the San Diego Comic-Con. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So cool.
So if you're interested, check it out. And he's up for pre-order for the next 30 days. Yeah, he's only 8.5 inches. So these are 1/12 scale figures. They're like regularly kind of 6-inch action figures. So you're getting a little bit more for your money. That's why Egon's $100 rather than 260 that your typical 12-inch 1/6 scale Mondo figures are. And it's cool that they're diving into the scale line. Like you're waiting for the
Yes.
2000X Masters line, right? For He-Man
Yes.
and all of that we saw revealed. And if they're doing things this incredible with this 12-inch scale Ghostbusters figures, does it not like get you super excited? We're going to do the Masters line.
I was just about to say, looking at the way that these are coming out, I'm like, I'm so drooling for them to release some images from that Masters line. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, this guy's Cameron. Mm-hmm. No.
Yes.
So, these are pretty cool. And I ordered the Haslab Ecto mobile, so
Nice.
I want to put these guys with it.
Park it next to your cat's there. Oh wait, you can't.
Yeah, I know that. It's all taken there. I got a Thunder Tank on one side, the vintage, and I got a vintage Sky Cutter. Actually, I bought that after the Super 7 one was announced. I got a Sky Cutter. I got my vintage Vulture Man sitting in it, so the table's all full. But I have a space picked out. One of the spaces that I have some other kind of Ghostbusters related figures on. I'm going to empty that out to put the Haslab when that comes out. So
sweet.
Yeah. I don't know if do you want to cover any other items?
I don't think so. What else? Yeah,
we can. There's a couple really small things we can talk about. Let's just look at this real quick. If you're a Street Fighter fan, Sagat and Blanca both went up for pre-order yesterday, I believe it was, and they look amazing. Like they look like they came right out of the video game. We saw these at SDCC. They have amazing articulation, and we have all the links for you guys here on the article if you want to order them. And the articulation on these are incredible. So if you're interested in those, you can check out the article and take a look at that. And then this was pretty cool. There's a new Warriors of the Galaxy by Formal Toys that got announced and part of Wave 1. So they announced Huck, which is also, it was based on a vintage figure from the Galaxy Warriors line. This was from Sun Gold Toys originally. In the vintage line, and so joining Magnon and Baltard in their Wave 1 is going to be Huck, and he looks kind of like a cool Viking dude. I think he's really cool. He has a furry cape, and I love like his red beard. I'm just going to scroll down. You can see here, like with like the new figures. This is Warriors of the Galaxy by Formo Toys, and this is the vintage Galaxy Warriors by Sun Gold. So you can see, what they were based on and how cool their kind of Frank Frazetta artwork on their new packaging looks like. Total homage to the original 1980s, knockoff toy line. These guys look great. That's Magnon. And then I'll go down to, this is Baltard. Also what he looked like in the vintage line. So this guy looks really cool. But what I wanted to show you guys, and he's got that same cool like eagle crest on his shield as well, which is really, really awesome. You can see it right there. This new guy, like here's his vintage figure, and he looks really silly. Yeah, with that beard, you can't like really see his mouth down there. But they did an awesome job. So it's funny the way that they revealed this, because we've had these two figures up for pre-order for quite some time with the first wave, and they posted a picture of like 3 figures stacked on top of each other on their Instagram, and they're like, oh, here's their 3 figures of the wave, and they're like, wait, did we say 3? Oh yeah, there's another figure coming to the line, and it's part of Wave 1. So they kind of surprised everybody. But he looks cool. He's got a little Viking helmet, Viking Yosemite Sam. Oh my god, that's hilarious. It's really cool chest armor, and this furry cape, which if you have any of the Legends of Dragonor, the characters that have the furry capes, it's such nice quality. So this is a really fun line if you're into He-Man, if you're into Masters or any of the 80s knockoff lines. Highly recommend it. But this guy looks really, really cool. I pre-ordered him as well. Yeah. So these are great. Like, are you getting any of these, Michael?
Probably not. But I'm sure that once you get them and take pictures of them, I'm sure I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go get them now.
Yeah. They're fun because they're an homage to the vintage toys.
Yeah.
Which, like, I love that about it, and the history of, you know, all of these kind of offshoot lines that were, like, you know, inspired by Masters of the Universe, and how it kind of spurred all of these other toys to come up in the 80s.
Yeah.
And Sun Golden was kind of like one of the more obscure ones. Remco did like a lot of really cool toy lines, but it's awesome that Formo Toys is redoing these guys.
Yeah, they are pretty cool though.
Yeah, they are. And also, Burt went up in stock on Target. So if you like the NECA Sesame Street figures, Ernie was kind of bouncing in and out of stock. So we do have the Target link for that. But Burt is in stock if you want to jump on and get him. And somebody posted an in-hand photo a little while ago, and I think his eyebrows are like movable. Also, I think you can put it on like both faces. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can take them on and off, so he can have kind of like different looks, which is pretty darn cool. And we saw these at SDCC, and they looked incredible in hand.
Yeah,
so
they're cute.
They're super cute. Yeah, I think that was it.
I think so.
Okay. Awesome. And then, of course, Evil Lynn from Mondo 6 scale went up for pre-order. So you did an awesome job. Check it out. All her photos are on the website. And when does she, her pre-order closes on, this one's pretty short, so it's February 21st.
Yeah.
So 10-day window.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or get your, it's wallet busting season is starting to.
Oh my God, I know. And when we get into March, it'll be even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You are welcome, Joe. You're very welcome. It's fun to do this. So it's fun to hang out and chat.
Absolutely.
Toys. Always fun. But yeah, that was and like everything, all this stuff happens towards the end of the week. You were like cranking out articles yesterday. I was like, holy crap.
Oh my God, I lost count. How many are done? Yeah, there's a lot of news this week, but tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day for all who celebrate. Go spend some quality and fun time with your loved one. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see you next week.
Yes, at our regularly scheduled time.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully my voice is back to normal next week. I am, like, again, apologies. I'm coming down with a slight cold or something. So
you did
just
you did just
yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy your Valentine's Day if you celebrate, and hope everybody has a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye, y'all.